Did you often go to the library at night? I once had a terrifying experience staying there after dark. I was a sophomore majoring in education, a book enthusiast to the point of forgetting to eat and sleep. The university library was my paradise, a place where I could immerse myself in every word. But it closed too early, and the most precious books were not allowed to be taken home. One day, while wandering between the bookshelves, I discovered a hidden corner where the security cameras couldn't reach. A bold idea struck me. I pulled a book from the shelf, quietly slipped into the hidden spot, and held my breath as I waited. The sound of the library doors locking echoed, followed by the librarian's departing footsteps. I sighed in relief, thrilled as I opened the book and lost myself in my own world. Just as I was engrossed in reading, a faint sound like someone flipping through pages broke the silence. Is there still someone here at this hour? Cautiously, I got up and followed the sound, but the moment I got close, it abruptly stopped. Right then, a long, chilling whistle echoed from behind me. Under the dim moonlight filtering through the glass windows, I saw a pair of blood-red eyes staring at me. The eyes moved closer, revealing the figure of a young man with pale, ghostly skin. A shiver ran down my spine. Panicked, I screamed and turned to run. When I reached the library doors, I suddenly remembered they were locked. There was no way out. I collapsed to the floor, tears streaming down my face as I desperately cried for help. The young man appeared before me, his hollow eye sockets writhing with swarming insects. Those insects began falling onto my head, my arms. I shrieked in terror, frantically scratching at my skin to get rid of the writhing creatures. Just then, the flashlight flickered, and he vanished, leaving only the sound of rushing footsteps. My body trembled uncontrollably, my heart pounding as if it would burst from my chest. A security guard rushed in, hastily unlocking the doors and pulling me outside.
Why are you here at this hour?
There was a ghost inside. My entire body felt drained, the eerie sensation still clinging to me. The next day, as I sat in the cafeteria, my hands still trembled while holding my glass of water. Suddenly, Jane, a close sister figure to me, sat down across from me, her eyes filled with concern.
What's wrong? You don't look well.
Last night, I saw a ghost in the library. It was terrifying.
Why were you in the library at night? It closes in the evening.
Slowly, I recounted the entire story from the night before. She sighed deeply before revealing a chilling truth. 2 years ago, a young man had been pushed out of the library window by a group of classmates and died. But to protect the university's reputation, the school declared that he had taken his own life due to depression. The bullies escaped punishment thanks to their family's influence. After that incident, the school decided to stop allowing the library to stay open late. I haven't dared to return to the library since that night. But every time I pass by, I always feel like someone is standing inside, watching me.
The room I rented on the 4th floor was incredibly cheap. The only thing was, the wooden cabinet in the corner of the room made a sobbing sound every night. I moved into an old room, so cheap it was hard to believe. Inside the room, everything was simple, except for a locked wooden cabinet. The cabinet was locked. The landlord had only told me not to open it. I didn't think much of it. I didn't need the cabinet anyway. That night, I kept tossing and turning. Something in the room made me feel very uncomfortable. Suddenly, A soft sound came from the wooden cabinet. I held my breath. My eyes did not leave the cabinet. The scratching sound was steady, like a child's fingernails scratching the lid of a coffin. I clearly felt someone's eyes looking at me from inside the wooden cabinet. I thought I was seeing things, but the cabinet shook slightly. I did not want to open my eyes, but the crying sound got closer every night. For the first time, I heard a woman's voice whisper,
My child.
I couldn't stand that cry anymore. One night, I decided to break the locker. Behind the dust cloth, I saw a different colored wall, covered with a rotten wooden board. My hands trembled as I hit the board. Inside was a small, curled figure with messy hair
Where's my
and a torn
child?
face. I turned around. The ghost of the woman appeared and hugged her child. Memories came back. The little girl was still alive, sitting on the floor drawing. The stepfather flew into a rage, grabbed her hair, and slammed her head against the wall. He only stopped when she stopped moving, blood spilling onto the floor and walls. Then he drilled a hole in the wall behind the wardrobe, hid the body, and pulled the wardrobe to cover it. The mother went home to look for her child, but the house was quiet. She reported to the police, but there was still no trace. Everyone thought the girl had left. The mother gave up in despair. When the neighbors discovered it, it was too late. The mother's body was taken away, and the stepfather moved away soon after. I collapsed, drowning in horror. Everything seemed to melt before my eyes. When I opened my eyes, both the girl's body and her mother's were gone. The sky was already bright. I was still sitting on the ground. A moment later, my phone vibrated. A news that left me speechless. He was the stepfather in the girl's memory. He had finally paid for his crimes.
Did you believe that a photograph could imprison someone? Anna always did. At that time, Anna's family had just moved into a house standing alone in the outskirts of Maine. The house wasn't big, but it was fully equipped for the three of them. While cleaning, Anna found an old family photograph, possibly left behind by the previous owners. But the strange thing was that all the faces in the photo were completely blurred. However, Anna didn't pay much attention to it. She had plenty of other things to do. As she tossed the photo to the floor, her 6-year-old son, Daniel, ran over and picked it up. He looked at the picture and whispered something to it happily.
The boy in the photo looks just like me, Mommy.
Don't say silly things, sweetheart.
She thought her son was just joking, so she didn't take it seriously. In the days that followed, Daniel always carried the photo with him and talked to it alone.
Daniel, who are you talking to?
They said they want to take me out to play.
Who are they?
Right here, Mommy.
Whenever Anna tried to take the photo away, Daniel would scream and demand it back. Only when she returned the photo did he stop crying. Seeing her son's behavior, Anna couldn't help but worry. One night, Anna woke up with a start because of the thunder outside. Rain poured down violently as if a storm had just swept through.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
I think someone's calling me.
Mommy, help me.
Anna and her husband rushed to their son's room. The moment they reached the doorway, both froze in horror. A shadowy figure was lifting Daniel off the ground by his neck. Her husband lunged forward to pull the figure away, but froze when his hands couldn't touch it. Even more terrifying, the figure had no face. beneath the hood was only a pitch black void. Suddenly, reached out another hand and gripped her husband's throat tightly. Anna stood there in shock, unable to scream as her voice caught in her throat. She watched in horror as both her husband and son were swallowed by darkness. But in the end, it turned out everything had been a figment of Anna's imagination. A year ago, Anna had been admitted to a hospital in a state of panic. She kept insisting that the cursed photograph had imprisoned her husband and son. However, they had both died in an accident. The photo Anna referred to was just an old family picture. When he was alive, her son had loved it and always carried it with him, unable to accept the truth.
Have you ever had hair extensions? My friend tried it once and it became her nightmare. This is Lucy, my best friend. Since that incident, she never dared to grow her hair long again. The story began when we were in our sophomore year of university. One day, Lucy and I were walking down the street when we were drawn to a small hair salon. The atmosphere inside gave me an inexplicable sense of gloom. The walls were adorned with photos of many girls sporting different hairstyles. My eyes stopped on a picture of a girl with unevenly chopped short hair, smiling at me. I was horrified and stepped closer to stare at it.
What's wrong?
I pointed at the picture for Lucy to see. But when I looked again, it was just a girl with a neat short haircut.
Those are all our former customers. You can also choose a style like theirs.
Their hair looks so beautiful and natural.
Of course, all the wigs here are made from real hair. You can check the samples over here.
She led us to a shelf displaying various wigs.
Sophia, this really is real hair. It feels completely different from the ones in other salons.
She carefully browsed through the options before deciding on a long, silky wig. As I touched the wig Lucy had chosen, I suddenly felt a chill run down my spine. A faint yet distinct smell of blood mixed with perfume wafted into my nose. I was about to warn Lucy, but the salon owner quickly ushered her into a chair to begin the extension process. That night, after getting the extensions, Lucy started having strange dreams. In her dreams, she saw many people standing at the foot of her bed, repeatedly whispering. Suddenly, a girl rushed toward her, holding a pair of scissors and frantically cutting Lucy's hair.
Give me back my hair. Give me back my hair.
The nightmares kept repeating, leaving Lucy increasingly terrified. Many nights, she felt as if someone was yanking her hair from behind, even though she was alone. One day, I visited Lucy's place and found her sitting in front of the mirror, brushing her hair repeatedly. With every stroke of the brush, strands of hair kept falling onto the floor. Lucy, why is your hair falling out so much?
It's not. I feel like I have even more hair now.
Look at the floor! Only then did Lucy panic. She ran her fingers through her hair and a large chunk fell out, tangling in her hand. She turned to the mirror, horrified to see her hair in uneven patches, some short, some long. A chill ran down my spine. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The next morning, we rushed back to the salon to have the extensions removed. But when we arrived, we were stunned. The place was crowded with people, gathered to witness something shocking. Excuse me, what's going on here?
I heard the owner of the salon kidnapped people, cut their hair to sell, and then killed them.
At that moment, the police escorted the salon owner out of the shop. She flinched slightly when she saw us, then quickly averted her gaze. As the crowd gradually dispersed, I looked into the shop and was horrified to see my own picture hanging on the wall. But the photo had been altered. Someone had deliberately changed Lucy's face. Lucy, when did you take this picture?
I never took any photos here.
After that day, Lucy's behavior changed drastically. She would sit blankly in front of the mirror, then suddenly grab a pair of scissors and frantically chop off her own hair. Lucy now looked exactly like the shadowy figures she had described from her nightmares. From that moment on, I never saw her grow her hair long again. Though many years have passed, whenever we talk about it, we can't help but shudder.